headboard of the bed?
Correct.
Okay. And now I understand then. So then when he asked you to grab the bag, you then reached to your right to get the bag off of a chair, opened it up, and Conrad Murray dropped the vials inside.
That is correct.
Okay. Then following that, he said grab that and pointed to the IV stand that you indicated was in this general area of the white chair and TV.
Well, if I may, after he placed the vials in the bag, he then told me to place that plastic bag into the brown bag.
Okay.
That was, if I recall correctly, this chair was placed in front of this chair, facing the bed, and the bags were on the far left side of the chair on the floor.
Okay.
And so he proceeded to tell me, now place the bag that I had holding in the brown bag.
Take the vials and to take off the bag from the IV stand.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
And at that point in time, when you're standing at the foot of the bed, are you, as you stand in front of the bed and are looking at the headboard,
Correct.
are you more to the left side of the bed, or are you more to the right side of the bed, or are you in the middle?
I was closer to the left side of the bed, sir.
Okay. So in the diagram, People's 22, you would be closer, from a vantage point of the foyer, you'd be closer to the far side of the bed.
Correct.
Okay. And is that where you were when you held out the bag into which Conrad Murray dropped the vials?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so as your general position then was more or less facing Conrad Murray, facing toward...
And he pointed towards where the bags were at, and I went and I dropped the bag there.
Okay. And so you described things like a grocery type bag.
Yes, sir.
Because I just want to be real clear about this.
Yeah,
a
yes.
grocery type bag that the vials were put into by
yes,
Conrad
sir.
Murray.
Correct.
He then instructed you to place that grocery type bag with the vials in it into a different bag.
Correct.
That different bag was where, as shown in People's 22?
Okay. Like I said, this particular chair, if I recall correctly, was closer to the bed, facing the bed, and the bags were on the far side of the chair on the floor.
Okay. And again, just to be clear, the grocery type bag that you initially grabbed to put the vials in, that was over here somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when I said here, I'm indicating that the foot of the bed, as you look to the headboard, would be the right side of the bed.
Correct.
Okay. So you place the grocery type, and you're talking about like a plastic...
plastic grocery bag, sir.
Okay. You drop those in the bag in which he instructed you to drop it. Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
He then told you to get the bag that was hanging from the IV stand.
Yes. When I dropped the bag in the plastic bag in the brown bag, he then pointed towards the IV stand, and he said, "Now get that bag or remove that bag and put it in the blue bag."
Okay. And do you know what a saline bag is?
I do, sir.
Okay. It's a clear plastic medical bag that hangs from an IV stand?
Correct.
Okay. Is that what you removed from the IV stand?
I did.
Okay. And what did you do with that?
He instructed me to put it in the blue bag, and I did so.
Okay. The blue bag and the brown bag, had you ever seen those before?
No, sir.
Okay. Again, was this all going very quickly?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. Let me ask you, Mr. Alvarez, why were you following these instructions to assist in collecting these vials and the saline bag?
Well, in my personal experience, I believe that Dr. Conrad Murray had the best instruction. So I didn't question his authority at the time. I knew it was a medical emergency, so I proceeded to follow Mr. Conrad Murray's instructions.
Okay. What did you think you were they were being, what did you think these items were being packed up for, if anything?
I thought we were packing to getting ready to go to the hospital.
When you removed the saline bag from the IV stand, did you notice anything unusual about that saline bag?
Yes, sir. I recall that while I was detaching it from the IV stand, the bag was at my eye level, so I was able to notice that there was a bottle this bag.
And when you removed the saline bag from the IV stand, was this the type of, well, let me show you, People's 25. Zooming in on People's 25, depicting an IV stand in the room, do you see that this particular IV stand has the hook device on one side with no bag on it, and then a saline bag on the other side?
Correct.
Okay. When you removed the particular saline bag that you removed, was the other saline bag still hanging from the IV stand?
Yes, sir.
Were you ever asked to remove that other saline bag?
No, sir.
And the one you were asked to remove had a bottle inside of it?
Yes, sir.
And can you describe what you observed about that bottle or that saline bag that you removed?
Well, what I recall is, like I said, it was at my eye level, and I was able to notice that at the bottom of the bag there was what appeared to me like a milky white substance, sir.
Okay. Was that in the bottle or the bag, or could you tell with certainty?
I recall seeing it at the bottom of the bag, sir.
Okay. And at an earlier date, earlier than today, did you attempt to draw a picture of the kind of the general shape and structure of that bag?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm going to have a diagram. It's previously been shown to defense counsel. May this be 27 for identification?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
So we're showing you. Could we dim the lights, please, Your Honor?
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, showing you what's been marked People's 27. Is that your drawing?
I'm embarrassed to say, but yes.
Okay. The topmost part of that diagram, this basically large rectangle, does that represent the actual saline bag itself?
Correct.
Okay. And then it comes down to the bottom here where the saline bag terminates, and you drew this this apparatus or this device on the bottom of that saline bag. Does this drawing accurate what you saw?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you saw some white substance, does this diagram show where that white substance was?
Yes, sir. Can I use my pointer?
Please.
To show. What I recall is seeing the milky white substance in this area here, and then at the bottom of this particular portion device here.
Okay, so you've indicated a milky white substance in this bottommost apparatus on your diagram.
Correct.
And you also recall seeing some white substance above the apparatus, which would actually be, I guess, in the saline bag, to your knowledge?
Correct.
Okay. And inside of this, then, was an actual bottle or glass vial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was that essentially resting at the bottom of this bag?
Correct.
Okay. On the inside?
On the inside, yes,
Okay.
sir.
I have a photograph taken at a subsequent time, Your Honor, depicting a clear saline bag and a 100 milliliter propofol bottle, which was subsequently booked as LAPD evidence item 106. May this be marked as Peoples 28 for identification?
Yes.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. Mr. Alvarez, do you see that saline bag in Peoples 28?
Yes, sir.
Okay. By all appearances, does that appear to be the same saline bag that Conrad Murray had you remove and place in the bag?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And looking at what would actually be, had it been hanging, is it fair to say it would be in this position, reflected here with this port being at the bottom of the saline bag?
Yes, sir.
And the hook device, the device to hang it from the ID stand being at the topmost portion of Peoples 28 as it's reflected here with the port being on the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this appears to be the same saline bag?
Yes, sir, it does.
Now, the 100 milliliter propofol bottle, does that appear, by everything you can tell on the appearance of the bottle, does that appear to be the same bottle that you saw inside of that saline bag?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Going back then, let me ask you, do you see in this enlarged photograph that the saline bag, can you see where it has a slit or a cut in the bag where I'm pointing in Peoples 28?
Yes, I can.
You observed that on that day, June 25th, 2009?
No, sir.
Okay. And again, referencing your diagram where you had drawn an apparatus at the bottom of this saline bag, would that, well, let me, one moment. Can you see those two pictures, Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The saline bag that you drew, as reflected in Peoples 27 on the right here, you show the saline bag coming down and terminating, and then it appears there's an additional apparatus attached to it. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then looking at the saline bag as reflected in Peoples, is the apparatus visible, or would the apparatus have been, to your recollection, connected to this port?
It is not visible, sir.
Okay. So to be clear, Peoples 28, what I'm calling a port, you see this, you understand to what I'm referring at the bottom of Peoples 28 as it's shown right now?
Yes.
Okay. That would be reflected in Peoples 27 as this portion above the apparatus where the saline bag would terminate. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And then attached to it was another apparatus.
Correct.
Okay. Which is not visible in Peoples 28.
Correct.
Okay. Then I have here actual saline bag that was booked as LAPD evidence item 110. Defense counsel has previously seen it.
and is now reviewing it.
Mr. Alvarez, let me, previously booked into evidence as LAPD evidence item 110, Your Honor. May this be marked Peoples 29 for identification?
Marked.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Alvarez, was the condition of the saline bag when you saw it as reflected in Peoples 28, in other words, and it was empty of, I know you've described liquid, but it was not a bag full of saline fluid, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And was it clean and clear as depicted in Peoples 28?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It did not have fingerprint dusting powder on it and blackened as it is here in court today?
No, sir.
Okay.
Double negative.
Did it appear as it appears in court here today with blackened fingerprint powder on it?
It did not.
Okay. And does this appear, as you look at Peoples 29, does it appear to be the same bag, at least in general appearance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But for the apparatus that you previously described as being attached to it?
Correct.
Okay. Then showing you Peoples, may I present this to the jury for a moment, Your Honor? Just show the slit.
Mr. Chernoff?
Is this like an offer or are we in evidence?
Not yet. It's
No,
being-
then no, Judge. I object until he offers it into evidence.
I will not be, I can't show the jury the, okay?
It's
Nothing
not
of the
evidence.
sort. Well, I thought counsel said there's no objection.
Well, there isn't, but he hasn't, is it in evidence then?
It won't be moved into evidence until the termination.
Do you want to address something at sidebar?
Sure.
May we?